Verse 5. And he sent young men of the people of Israel who offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen to the Lord. So there's lots of offerings being done now. At this stage, the Levitical system is not in place yet, right? Not in place at all yet. So Moses and Aaron, the two of them, working this closely together, would most likely have directed this. So Moses telling Aaron to, or Moses himself, doesn't matter, right? Young men. So they picked, we don't know how, ask for people, volunteers from, they picked or whatever came along. It's not important. It's the fact that they picked, they used, and they sent these burnt offerings, young men to do these burnt offerings. Now, because it would have been impossible for Moses himself to do all of this. He's one guy, there are not 30,000, there are a lot, a million odd people. So yes, he needed this help, understandably. Verse 6. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he threw against the altar. So the blood, understandably, of the offerings, they separate because, that is what they do, not supposed to eat the blood. So you would drain the blood, they would collect all that blood. And so from all of that blood, what Moses did now is took half of it, he threw it against the altar, and half of it he put in basins. We'll see later what he's going to do with that other half. So what is the idea of why half? Because this is now the signing of the covenant that's being done, right? And it's signed in blood. The first covenant was not signed. The one that God made with Adam and Eve was not signed with blood ultimately because there was no sin at that stage. But then after they sinned, an animal was killed. And after that, we've seen with Abram, Noah as well, their offerings, Abram, the cutting off, the animals walking, and now here as well. And ultimately, the new covenant, Jesus, in his blood. That is going to be in his blood, right? And the perfect blood, the blood of a sinless person. So this is why half, because animals had to be cut in half, this is why half of the blood is thrown on an altar, and the one representing God. So this is on God's side. Right, another half put in basins. Verse 7. Then he took the book of the covenant and read it in the hearing of the people. And they said, all that the Lord has spoken we will do, and we will be obedient. So the book of the covenant, is that the 10 Commandments? Is that now all these words that God has spoken up till then? It's not going to include the Genesis and those kinds, because there's no way for him to read all of that. So the book of the covenant would ultimately, I don't know. It's difficult to exactly know how this book like, but it's a book, right? So again, a book is something that's written. Yeah, and their answer to this is that everything. What I said earlier, everything that the Lord has spoken, we will do, we will be obedient. Famous last words, we will be obedient. Soon making a golden calf, we will be obedient. Soon making another grumbling against God. Why did you bring us here? Why this leader? Why that? Soon all of this will happen. But yes, understandably, God knew that this is going to happen. Verse 8. And Moses took the blood and threw it on the people and said, behold the blood of the covenant that the Lord has made with you in accordance with all these words. So after they said that, then Moses took the blood, and remember the half of the blood that's left that he put in basins, and he threw it out on the people. Now, exactly, if there were 1 million odd people, this blood, there would not have been enough to cover everyone in that sense, right? And would that mean just those in the blood dropped just fell, they are now in the part of the covenant race? Not. No, we've already seen symbols here, right? Where these pillars, they symbolize these people. The 70 of them, most likely what's happened, this blood would have been poured out on those 70, because they are like Adam is the father of all of humanity. In this sense, they resembles they are the placemakers, or whatever. Now I don't know the word for it, of the whole nation. ultimately. So most likely this blood would only have been sprinkled, poured, okay, on them, on these 70. And as the one standing in this place of the nation, that would mean then all the nation. So yes, well, this is a covenant and that the Lord has made, and he will deal then with you in accordance with all these words. It's so, yeah, just get an idea of, well, by the way, so Nairobi, this is just outside, well, yeah, kind of part of 7 kilometers down from downtown Nairobi. It's pretty cold here. Because although we're just 100 odd kilometers from the equator, but it's cold here. And of course, it's very high above sea level. Okay, so I'll go to other places now here in the park.